In order to generate greater opportunities for steady agrarian activities, the Government of West Bengal has accorded to render the economically backward farmers with properly plotted irrigation scheme. Inhered by the perpetual inspiration of Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, under the direction of Water Resource Investigation and Development Department of the Government of West Bengal, the Departments of Agriculture, Food Processing, Horticulture and Department of Fisheries jointly contributing in devising the outline of the planning. With the economic aid from World Bank,
by the grace of all effort, whatever taken by our Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Bandyopadhyay, just to get shares of loan and to sanction the project from the World Bank, we have received one beautiful project in the field of minor irrigation to discharge our duties in favor of the peoples of West Bengal, from hills to jungle mahal and plains. Now you are producing one crop due to scarcity of water. When you will get the water for your irrigation, then you will be able to multiply your crops in 3 times. Those who will be the water users, I should say them, please keep your wealth. You think that wealth is of yours. I am requesting the peoples of the West Bengal, please extend your hand just to fulfill our mission, by which we can cover the more area which are not still non-irrigated.
with the vision to provide adequate irrigational facilities, the Grandeur project aims to incorporate 18 districts of West Bengal within December 2017, yielding about 4,660 minor irrigation projects, which would account an area of 1,39,000 hectare rain-fed or single-crop land facilitated with proper irrigation.
About 1.39 lakh hectare of agricultural land will be brought under minor irrigation project by installation of more than 4,600 minor irrigation installations. This project also comprises extensive training on developed agricultural practices, multiple cropping system, as well as integrated approach for development of horticulture, fisheries within the project area.
Through the systematic use of irrigational resources, the project highlights the twofold objectives of enhancing agricultural productivity of the land and at the same time promoting the income standards of the small and marginal farmers who are solely dependent on agrarian activities.
This project aims to elevate the livelihood of the small and marginal farmers of West Bengal through sustainable minor irrigation system with agriculture, horticulture and fishery practices. The field functionaries of the department and the supporting units are performing very good convergence with the Water Users Association, who will ultimately take the responsibility of the ownership and management and maintenance of the schemes under this project. I wish every success to this project.
With the help of electric or diesel-powered pumps, the practice of river lift irrigation is applied in the areas where there is a recurrent supply of river water. The water lifted is channelized through pipelines and finally enters the agricultural field. The mechanism of river lift irrigation can accommodate a fair amount of agricultural area under its domain. In areas constituting non-perennial streams and rivers, the water availability is sufficient during the monsoon but inadequate during winters. A check dam is built using mud, rocks or concrete. The retained water of the check dams not only help in compensating the irrigational drawbacks during the winters, but also seep through the soil layers and ultimately helps in enhancing groundwater level. After analyzing the terrain of the land and flow of surface water, small dams are constructed in order to restrict the free flow and to retain the water which flows across the surface. A fair amount of water is retained during the rainy season, which is ideally used up for the irrigational purposes in the drier seasons when the flow is minimal. When the required irrigation is more, or if there is a crisis situation, the underground water is utilized through the medium-duty tubewells powered by electric or diesel-run pumps. This underground water is then readily used up for irrigation. Pump dug well is another unique feature of the minor irrigation circuit, which is not always dependent on electricity or diesel but generates power through solar energy. To channelize the water supply of the irrigation canals divided at a range of 5 to 8 hectares over an area of about 40 hectares without wastage, field channels are constructed for smooth and even rendering of the water for irrigation. Ponds are often dug at the drainage mouths of the lowland so that the running surface water after the rain fills up the pond and the water is conserved. This detained water is further used up for daily course and at the same time pisciculture. Even though various constraints of irrigational cycle are resolved at the plains through developed framework, the people of the hilly areas are entirely dependent of the rainwater for any agricultural activity. Demographically diminished tribe Toto count days in their wait for the rain to descend.
Do chi pya pya soja doyas engo ho swa le ka mai.
In order to retain water at the hilly areas inhabited by the Toto tribes, ponds are dug and geomembranes are dispersed, which restricts the water to penetrate the soil layers. This conserved water is used by the tribal community for the daily use. The local inhabitants are often found to be the best adjudicator to decide which framework will suit what land relief in the respective areas. Accelerated Development for Minor Irrigation, also shortly known as ADMI, is a pioneering project which empowers the local inhabitants in participating from within the process.
একটা ফসলই হয় জমিতে একটা ফসলই হয় বর্ষার জলে চাষ ঠিক আছে ধরুন 100 জনের মধ্যে আমাদের হার্ডলি আপনি পাবেন 25 জনের মতন সারা বছর চলে আর বাদবাকিগুলো মানে কিছু জনের হয়তো 8 মাসের খাবার চলবে কিছু জনের হয়তো 6 মাস
ডাঙ্গা জমি যেটা বলে আমরা ডাঙ্গা জমি মানে ওখানে জলের কোনো ইয়ে নেই মানে উঁচু
আমাদের জমিও আছে এবং নদীও আছে জলটা নদীর জলটা নিচে বইছে তো যদি আপনাদের কিছু করার থাকে করে দিলে আমাদের ভালো হবে এবং আমার গ্রামবাসী উপকৃত হবে
আরএলআই স্কিম যেটাকে বলে রিভার লিফট ইরিগেশন সেই স্কিম এখনো আছে কিন্তু প্রথাগতভাবে আগে যেভাবে চলতো তার পরিচালন যেভাবে হতো এখন সেইটা থেকে কিছুটা সরে এসে সহভাগী পদ্ধতিতে এই আরএলআই স্কিমকে যাতে পরিচালনা করা যায় এই সহভাগী পদ্ধতিতে এখন সরকার ভাবছেন
এখানে যে ব্যাপারটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে যে লোকজন তাদের নিজের প্রকল্প নিজে করবে
ধরুন ম্যাডাম আমরা জায়গা দিলাম আপনারা জায়গা দিলাম এবং মানে জায়গার পজিশনও দেখিয়ে দিলাম যে কোনখান থেকে জল তোলা যাবে কি করা যাবে কিন্তু আপনারা কি আদৌ করে দিতে পারবেন
করে দিতে পারা যায় কিনা তার জন্য যে পদ্ধতিটা আছে সেটা হচ্ছে আপনাদের এই এলাকায় আলোচনা করুন এই ব্যাপারটা পুরো যতটা বললেন একটা ওয়াটার ইউজার্স অ্যাসোসিয়েশন এখানে তৈরি করতে হবে মানে যারা জল ব্যবহার করবে তাদের একটা সমিতি হবে
Build your own plan is the driving force and the message used by the Government of West Bengal in the process of structuring the minor irrigation schemes at the very grassroots level. To ensure people's participations, there has been an effort to form an association of men and women who are beneficiated through this minor irrigation framework at various levels of programming and planning. According to the law, it is the duty and responsibility of this registered water users association to protect and conserve the structures built under the minor irrigation project and at the same time through judicious use of irrigational and water resources, uplift and beautify their standard of living. Required scope has been provided to the backward and tribal areas to implement this method and bring about the change. There have been special efforts for ensuring enough women participation in these associations. The tribal people have been able to build their own plan on a land donated by any local inhabitant or member of the association. The Government of West Bengal, while devising ADMI with economic aid from the World Bank, has kept in mind the local needs and requirements. Under this project, the qualitative assessment of the underground as well as surface water is essentially important. For the assessment and analysis, water samples are being collected from various sources. To discuss stage-wise developments and evaluate the quality of water resources, the Central Laboratory of Government's Water Resource Investigation Directorate has been overhauled and renovated with the economic help from World Bank and initiative of ADMI project.
In ADMI, Accelerated Development Mitigation Project, we have already upgraded our chemical laboratories to such an extent. Now we have already, previously microbiology lab was not there, we have started. Whenever any structures, mitigation structures they are putting, they are taking their water quality and also other previous assessment reports, all these things we are utilizing for better performance of the schemes as well as for safe supply of irrigation water.
The farmers are often provided with training, making them aware of how to transform rain-fed land with right irrigational measures. Besides this, the governmental guidance over the Water Users Association will prevail over a certain span of time to make them aware of any mistake they commit and at the same time rectify those in due time. Soil samples are also collected to check the fertility of the soil at regular intervals and take adequate measures. Besides this, the proper use of minor irrigation has facilitated the growing of main crops like wheat, rice and mustard. With the rendering of agricultural support services, cultivation of fruits like mango, jujube and cashew has been possible alongside with vegetables like potato, brinjal, gourd, cabbage and other seasonal vegetables. Commercial crops like dhenchi have also been encouraged to be included as a cultivable crop. With good crop planning, use of chemical fertilizers has been reduced and proper irrigational facilities have been put into effect. This has resulted in cultivation of crops like betel nuts, pineapple and black pepper along with prospective crops in the time to come. Special attention has also been given to pisciculture after securing enough water availability. Implementing the program efficiently, the members of Water Users Association have gone through success across the whole state. With the example of this implementation success, the local inhabitants have also expressed their desires to be a part of this dedicated unit.
জমিতে বেগুন লাগাইছি, কপি লাগাইছি। আমরা এইরকম ভাবে সবজি করতেছি, এখন আমরা ঢেঁড়স লাগাবো, তারপর শাকসবজি।
আমরা সেলো মেশিন পাই। মই প্রায় 3 বিঘার মতো এবার গম করছি। আচ্ছা। এই গমটা খুব ভালো হইছে। আর এইটা দেখিয়া অনেক লোকের আগ্রহ আছে।
Under the able guidance of Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the Government of West Bengal has taken an upheaval task of increasing the agricultural productivity of small and marginal farmers through the accelerated development of minor irrigation project. But to ensure its grand success, support from all sections are essential, be it tribal or women or the marginal farmers. It is their scope to build their plan with the assistance from the government. Then only dawn will shine over the tillage. Let happiness and delight saturate every house of the rural Bengal.
Banglar ghar, Banglar haat, Banglar bon, Banglar mat, purna hok, purna hok, purna hok. He Bhagwan, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jal, Banglar Vayu, Banglar Phal,